So I think my original idea was just to literally go out and shoot in London, like a whole day, and just walk around and find interesting spaces. So then I kind of adapted the idea of putting a person being the focus of like a day in the life of a woman who works in an office and then goes out clubbing in the evening and lives by herself in some bedsit or something. Just a kind of 24-hour cycle in 4 minutes. I knew I wanted to shoot in the rush hour because it's a very spectacular image in London when there's a couple of million people on the move. You have this really interesting sort of procession of office workers coming out of the tube and crossing the river. So that's kind of an interesting phenomenon. Also thought Oxford Circus would be interesting for the second rush hour, the return.
Go back and do it slowly. It really is slow motion. It's I am in slow motion.
You go out and you use your eyes and your ears in these various locations and you improvise basically. And you see an opportunity and you take it. You see something interesting, you go and shoot it. Because it's 4 minutes, it's not like you have to hold a 90-minute narrative in your head. As I was shooting, I was thinking, okay, okay, we've got that shot, now I need this shot, so you kind of do an edit in your head. Framing and the physicality of framing is a very strong, deliberate and sometimes provocative element in photography. It's not a huge step to sort of look at a video camera and go, no, if I turn it on its side, I'll get a portrait format. And sometimes that is the appropriate format for shooting a full body without having to go super wide. You just turn the camera around. This is not generally accepted in cinema because you're expected to make a decision about your format on the first frame and you stick to it till the very last frame. For the last 10 years I've been breaking that rule and I will play within that screen. I'll use a widescreen format to make a point and then I'll use actually a very small square format sometimes to make another point. In the same way as with photography, sometimes a portrait needs to sit in a huge frame even though it's a small photograph, just to sort of give you a sense of proportion. And it will also maybe keep the audience a little bit more alert to change the format from time to time. And then you're looking at the image, and then you're still kind of going, what can I do to manipulate? Without it being too fussy, how can I continue to manipulate the image? You've got to examine every aspect of filmmaking all the time to say, am I getting the most efficient use out of this system? That's really all it's down to. It's not about being avant-garde or groundbreaking, it's just like, is this efficient? And often the answer to that question will be no, it's really inefficient. Because the other thing is that cinema is mesmerizing and it can hypnotize people almost into going into a kind of dream state. And sometimes you want to just pop them out of that for a moment.